All right, garage update, garage update. Everybody has been asking for a garage update. And when I say everybody, I mean that meme that says nobody, literally nobody, and then Sam says garage update. But seriously, everybody has been asking what is going on with all the projects, the Ferrari. The Focus RS, which has been done, clearly it's very much done. It's got these really nice Oz racing wheels. I don't know, is that Oz or OZ? I don't know, they're really nice. And I painted it black. So,
hey,
yeah.
We gonna make this video or?
Andrew, could you just give me 2 minutes with the car, please? By the way, you got a dent in the side of the car right here. When are you gonna finish the project? All right?
My Focus runs.
Finish your projects.
My Focus runs.
Ferrari. This is, yeah, more than you can afford, pal. Guy behind the camera knows what I'm talking about. It looks beautiful with the green paint, at least in my opinion. Zach did an incredible job. And this is one of the big ones everybody's been asking, what's the next steps with it? So this car is hours from being put back together, but that's just being put back together. The main issue is the rear main seal leak. I've tried to explore simpler solutions to that problem, and really there's no way of getting around a rear main seal leak than pulling the trans. That's gotta happen. It's really bad. I still haven't decided whether I'm gonna spend $3,000 on the parts alone to get the clutch, but I will figure that out soon. Otherwise, this car, don't show them the interior, okay? Just don't, whatever you do, don't go in the interior.
I feel like that's my cue to open up the door here.
Don't go up the interior.
And just,
well, there's a good reason it looks, yeah. And there's also Ant Roach Killer right there. But hey, you said it earlier, there's 7 pieces that go in there. It snaps back into place very simply. Like I said, hours of assembly. Really, there's not a lot in the interior that goes in here. It's the mechanical stuff we're still dealing with this car, and the fact that it's a convertible top, and it doesn't quite work right. Now, you know, I've sold a lot of cars recently, like quite a few. And I've been thinking, a lot of people have pushed me. They've said, get rid of this one. It's a curse. It's a nightmare. And we've done so much work. I got to make it right. But on the flip side, I feel like, should it go? You let me know in the comment section below. The thing that kills me is maybe the convertible top part. Everybody knows that a convertible, Ferrari especially, long term, you've got water leaks, you've got convertible top failures. They're expensive to maintain. And it's canvas, so it's gonna fall apart at one point. If it hasn't already. Don't get too close to the convertible top. Don't show them that. No, don't turn it around. Come on. We're gonna go to the Range Rover, where a lot of progress is being made. So, predominantly a mechanically damaged car. If you look in the engine bay, we are 1 supercharger, a couple coolant hoses, and air intake away from firing this thing up.
Just literally a few minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah, just a few minutes.
Ferrari's hours, this one's minutes.
Yeah.
This, when it's finished, bearing that the machine shop people did a good job and Nick timed it correctly, which you're gonna see, it's a really awesome process. He did everything very thorough. If this fires up and works, there are so many new revised engine components. I'm planning on daily driving this as my full-size truck and possibly replacing one of my most reliable cars with it, the Lemon Lincoln, which we'll check in a moment. But let's actually go and take a real look at what the Ford Focus RS is like. If you shut the camera off, we're gonna do a jump cut here so I can just put a few things back together.
All right, 3, 2, 1, jump. Oh, this looks seconds away from being done. Are you putting the bumper back in? Is that what's going on?
Seconds away from, it is done. It's just missing just a few, the valance. Ask V-Tune why that valance isn't there. Just go into V-Tune's garage. I learned a ton while I was there. He did an incredible job on the frame repair. But one thing he did not do an incredible job on was riveting this rear valance in, because whenever I got out at the first gas station, I noticed that I think someone must have just grabbed it off the back of the thing, you know?
Yeah, rear valance thieves.
Yeah, and so the taillights, actually these are, you would know this because you had to upgrade the lights on your cheap one over there.
No, my lights are stock.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is the RS has a special taillight. So that's great, and then, Just give me 2 seconds. I'll throw the headlights in.
No, let's just
don't even come around here. Don't even look.
Pop the hood, man.
All right, let's pop the hood.
Dude, you're so proud of your premium Focus here.
This is an RS.
Yeah.
Fully upgraded with Mishimoto cooling system, air intake, overflow tank, oil cooler. Literally the coolest RS around. And the reason why the headlights aren't on. By the way, where's the prop rod? He took the prop rod when he took the valance.
No, I bet you it was the cows.
The headlights. We pulled those out because when you're rebuilding a front-end damaged car, and it comes with a xenon headlight like this car. And this was one of the first years they started introducing those things.
No,
in the first few years.
My car had the xenon lights.
Why did you upgrade them with those cheap ones?
They're not cheap. They're also xenon.
Yeah, but the stock ones are always, okay, listen. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, you got those cheap lights on. This has the nice ones.
Mine has the nice ones too.
But mine were cheap because I bought them with cracked tabs. My man Zach went in, he fixed them all, and so I'd show them to you, but they're in the hatch and the battery's dead. This car fires right up, drives no problem. We're moving along to something that I don't want to show you too much of, but it's actually pretty cool. This is in one piece because it's a Toyota product. It is a Soar. A lot of people confuse this whenever they see it in the background with a SC300 or 400. This is a right-hand drive, twin turbo Toyota Soar I paid under $3,000 for. I can't even say Toyota, but I know that I paid under $3,000 for it. There's no steering wheel on that side. This is all original, this car. Really in excellent shape, under 100,000 miles if you do the kilometer conversion. And there's gonna be a lot more on it coming soon, as well as what you see right over here, another favorite of people that have just seen it in the background. The 5-speed, well, it's not a 5-speed.
6-speed.
So actually I've been using it to collect a lot of leaves. And
that's a really, dude, don't crush them, that's your
So this is a beautifully, freshly painted Rosso Corsa, no joke, the guy that I bought it from. Hey, that's a nice red color. It's Rosso Corsa, which is also Ferrari red. I'm sure you know that.
I do.
And when he decided to paint this hood accent on here, this is painted.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, the color's nice, and actually the job is really nice, but that is tough.
Yeah.
There's a lot wrong with this car, but there's a lot that's right with this car. And again, when we jump into it, you're gonna see everything and how I picked it up stupid cheap, because these things are now selling for a fortune if they got a manual transmission, just in parts alone. This would be worth more than I paid for it. And it's doing a really good job actually collecting the leaves. Don't get that front end that's falling apart there.
Oh, wait, this front end right here?
No, don't. This is possibly the least interesting car out here today. However, I'm gonna make it the most interesting. So this was a former pizza car. My buddy Rich, he disassembled the pizza parts, and now it has turned into a disassembled Chevy Spark. These things sell for nothing at the auction as is, but this one was rebuilt. He took the parts out of it. Get this, I paid 800 bucks for it with the pizza stuff on it. He pulled that stuff out. I put it at one of these sell us your junk car websites. I filled out the whole entire application. It came back with, we will offer you $1,200 for this car missing this, the whole front end. And I'm like, wait a minute. They're gonna come, they're gonna pick the car up, and usually they just send like an independent third party and they check the boxes. Is it missing this, this, and this? And I said, it's missing panels in the front. It's missing the door here in the rear. They said, well, hold on, tell us over the phone what it's missing. I said, hood, fender, no, it's not missing fender, hood, bumper, headlights. They go, oh wait, we didn't mark headlights. So they knocked that estimate from $1,200 to $1,000. So I've had this car for a couple of years, $800. He took all the good parts off of it, and now they're offering $1,000. Something's wrong with that, right?
Nice work.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
That's how yeah. So everybody asks, is there money in flipping cars? Apparently, if you buy right, that's buying right, you can do it. This I was really excited about, and I've lost quite a bit of interest in it. But 12-cylinder Phaeton, W12 Phaeton, I think less than 500 of these were brought to America. And this one was meticulously maintained, and nobody's gonna believe it looking at this shot right here, but this was a minor front end collision, no frame damage. Get in there, show them, no
well,
frame
you don't
damage.
usually want me to.
No, this one is fine because I bought it like this. So I've pulled the front bumper off. You'll notice on this side, it's all perfect. All the ducts for the coolers and everything are in perfect shape. This is really similar architecture to a Bentley Continental, what do they call it, a Continental Flying Spur. And it was owned by two people, but the second person owned it for, I want to say like 90% of its life. It's got right under 100,000 miles. And I want you to take a look at the interior in this one. When I got it, it was just like, okay, there's gonna be a few little spots here and there, but it's mint. Everything works. Usually you see those cup holders stuck down. You see cracks on the wood grain. This thing was garage kept, meticulously maintained, and I said, why don't we break all of that right now and just leave it under a pine tree for about 2 years. No, but I haven't had it that long. This is a kind of an undertaking. These cars are so quirky, I guess you could say. They have a lot of issues, a lot of failure points, and my main issue with it is actually the suspension. You see how low it's sitting in the front. I don't think it's the shocks. I think there's a sensor of some sort that has failed, and that's what we got.
Are you not about the stance life?
Oh, this thing is so stance that the front subframe will. And that's why I parked it out here, because if I have to move it, at least the grass is more forgiving than say like a, so. This is a nice car. This is a beauty. It also has a little bit of, you don't have to get that damage in the other corner.
Other corner? What?
Yeah, that was not actually with the car. That's a long story, but it will come with the video that we produce on this car. So Phaeton 12-cylinder, mint condition, runs and drives, no check engine lights. Believe it or not, I might have generated one from sitting.
A Volkswagen without check engine
Zero
lights?
check engine lights.
I don't know if I believe that.
Just a suspension light, that's it. This is one of my favorite cars out of all of them, and that's because a generous guy by the name of Scott gave it to me. He had taken great care of it. It has 180-something thousand miles on it. It did have a few minor issues when I got it, but really nothing monumental. It's in great shape. A BMW MasterTech went through everything and gave it a clean bill of health, and then I messed it up. We put an exhaust system on it, and whenever we had to take the old studs out of the downpipes, the air hammer had knocked the O2 sensors, and it's giving me a code for pre-cat and post-cat. I've bought all new O2 sensors, and I'm collaborating with a really cool shop who's gonna allow me use of their lift, because this is an X-Drive car. There's a lot of stuff going on under the front end of it, and you just can't get up to do the O2 sensors like a regular rear-wheel drive 335. So that's coming very soon. Once we do that, we're not only gonna fix our problem, we're gonna modify it a little bit further, get a little bit more power out of it, and then it's gonna be a wrap. We gotta do something charitable with it. Whatever you'd like to see done with the 335, let me know in the comments section below, because I've had a great time with it. I do wanna keep daily driving it, but with the Range Rover, with some other stuff I'm gonna show you, it's gonna get crowded, and I think it's the best to do what Scott did, and again, be very charitable. Thank you again very much, Scott. I've had a ton of fun with this car and continue to as I drive it along with the little check engine light. It still works fine. All right, what's incredible? BMW 335, new, around 50 grand when it came out. This car, when it came out, this is an 07, it came out in whatever, 04, 05. Over $100,000 back then. Ridiculous, not worth it at all. And what I figured out on this one particularly is that it's just not gonna be worth rebuilding it, which means we're not gonna continue the build on it, but I gotta give you the good reason. Instead of saying, hey, you don't finish your projects, when there's a reason not to finish a project, specifically when that reason is you're gonna put more money into a car than it's worth, you shouldn't do something irrational because of emotions, right? I'm not emotionally attached to this car at all, but the other big curveball is when I got it, it had hail damage, which was not disclosed at the auction. That hail damage ended up being very costly. I put a lot of time into the fenders, also the roof. We've thrown a quick coat of primer so that no moisture gets in the filler, but it's not worth finishing. By the time we get this ready for a really good paint job and then spend the money on that really good paint job, even just the paint materials, and I bought it all actually, it's not gonna go on this car, it's gonna go on another one, was about $2,000 in materials. The car itself is worth right around what I paid for it, so we're gonna move it along.
We're going to say, how do you say goodbye in Italian? Buongiorno.
Yeah, DiGiorno? So the cars that people ask about the most, Ford Focus RS, Ferrari 360, Lamborghini, which we're gonna show you in a second. But a few people ask about this because I don't believe they caught the finished product, which was actually in a Ferrari video, not in a Ford F-250 video. 2014 F-250 Lariat. When I got this car, it had very, very minor front end damage. Fixed it in literally, and no joke this time, Andrew, it was hours. After I finished repairing the cooling system, brought it over to V-Tune's garage. He pulled the frame in, I wanna say about an hour, threw the front bumper on. This truck was finished. And I've been using it a lot. I use it to take cars from the auction. I use it to move cars around. It is a very handy tool, and a lot of people made fun that it was a gasoline engine, and I am sold now on Ford trucks with the gasoline engine, especially this platform, because it's super reliable, no body off of frame stuff for maintenance, and these things are known for going well over 250,000 miles without any sort of heavy maintenance, as long as you do maintain them. Now those are pretty much all the cars currently out here. They always get swapped around. I drive a lot of the operable ones. But another one that everybody's been asking about, the Lamborghini Gallardo, that is, well, it's basically, again, finished. It's hours away. And this time, I'm not doing the work. Does that surprise you? I actually have my good friend Alex Palmieri from Legit Street Cars finish up a few little things before it gets put on a transport truck, and I'm gonna send you to him right now.
All right, Sam, here's your Lamborghini update. First off, the car is looking phenomenal. I'm definitely gonna have to borrow. I mean, I'm gonna have to test drive this thing for like a week or two just to make sure it's perfect for you. Don't worry, no joyrides whatsoever. But before I get to that, I gotta fix it, and there is some gnarly damage right here in the left rear. So let me show you guys what's going on. When this Lambo ran off the side of the road or whatever happened, something hit the wheel and it bent the rotor, and more importantly, the entire hub assembly. So the hub that slides into the spindle with the wheel bearing is bent, and as you can see, this rotor is just kind of wobbling around. Take a look at this floating caliper. The brake pad's not even making contact with the rotor, so everything is bent out of shape here. It all needs to be replaced. We're gonna be disconnecting all of the suspension, the entire braking system back here, and replacing the entire spindle, and luckily, you basically have an Audi R8, so this spindle with the hub already pressed in, a used part off the R8, was only about 350 bucks, so about 3 times less than if this was listed as a Lambo part. And of course, you got a brand new rotor here, so I'm gonna be swapping all of this out and you should be good to go. I'll let you know if it needs anything more, and it probably will, because I simply just want to borrow the car for much longer.
Super appreciative to have Alex fixing up the Gallardo, especially since I don't rebuild my own cars. But seriously, when I was in Chicago and I checked out the Gallardo, and even before that, the pedal always felt super spongy. I sent brake fluid to the guys over at Mancuso, and nobody could figure it out until Billy, who oversaw the entire project. He took the wheel off and he goes, "Your rotor's off by just a little bit. It's pushing the pads out. That's why the brakes feel spongy." So luckily we didn't have any brake line failures or anything like that. And the Gallardo very well might become my favorite when it comes home. Until then, it's the Audi R8 for me with the gated 6-speed manual. Very similar car, similar chassis, but the big difference is the convertible versus the coupe. And of course, this has the 6-speed manual and the V8 engine. A lot of people said when we did the weld frame repair on this car that, oh, it's not gonna last. It's been excellent, it's been incredible. And I do wanna bring the R8 back for at least one video. I'd like to do some suspension modifications. The coilover setup I have is, well, come on, let's take a look. It's slammed, at least in my opinion. These cars come pretty low from the factory, and it brings them down even lower, and it's not stock ride height. I like it just slightly higher when I go over bumps. You know, you get the whatever, but when I'm worried about that, I take the Maserati Coupe GT. This is something I totally didn't need, but when I saw it for sale, I couldn't pass it up. I've briefly shown it in another video. This is a super rare car, last model year ever made, 6-speed manual, under 30,000 miles, around 24 and change, and it is as near mint as it could be. This one you can see the interior in, and besides someone sticking all their crap in it, thanks Andrew.
Hey, yeah, you're welcome.
If you take a look at the interior, you'll actually find a lot of parts out of a Ferrari. This steering wheel is identical to what you'll see in a manual 550 Maranello. The sticky buttons that ruin your day anytime you touch them, right out of a Ferrari.
Can't really see it, but it's all over my fingers.
The crappy plastic trims you'll find in a few places, but seriously, this is a very special car. It's a 2006 model year, and if I had to describe it as anything, it's an Italian Corvette. It's got that front engine design. We gotta see the front engine.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, the pretzel braid.
Oh my gosh, it is. If I could figure out how to pop it, there it is. This is possibly one of the best parts about this car. Is that it's just a piece of artwork. As a matter of fact, the Ferrari engines, they do a great job with the art aspect, right? But I don't know, I've not seen anything with the red, and I guess you're right, there's like a golden brown pretzel color. Beautiful.
Well, it just looks like a bunch of pretzels stacked together.
Between the two of these, one of them has to go, and for me, it's an easy choice. The Maserati will be sold. I'm gonna list it at a specialty auction coming very soon. I think with the low miles, with the last year and with the overall condition of the car, should fetch a decent amount of money. The R8, I can't see myself letting go of that for a very long time. It just means a lot to me. So let's transition from the sports cars to the most boring cars in the entire fleet.
No, dude, no.
These are boring.
No, these are daily drivers, man.
They are definitely daily drivers. This car right here, in recent history, the Fiesta ST, a car I haven't stopped talking about since the inception of this channel, has the most amount of miles put on it by me out of all the cars.
Good.
Out of all the cars they saw today, I bought it with 8,000. It currently has about 25 or 26,000 miles on it. It's been phenomenal. How many things have broken on your Ford?
None, zero.
Zero?
Yeah, zero.
I have one. Blend door actuator motor.
Yeah, that's a really common issue, like an ultra common issue for these cars.
$7 part.
Yep.
Put it in 10 minutes.
Yep.
That's the only thing that broke. And then somebody had an accident and it wasn't me. So this is a car that was one time totaled. And this is a parking lot quarter panel smash.
It's totaled again. It's retotaled.
Okay, so hear me out. Because the car's totaled, it has diminished value in the first place. That's a nasty quarter smash. You'd have to get in there and kind of rework it out, push it, then it would have body repairs. I sincerely believe this car does have full coverage on it. If I called insurance, which I'm not, I know the person that hit it, it's not a big deal. They might total again. This might end up being a two-time total, but that just goes to show you what some people will glorify. Oh my God, it's a two-time total. It's gotta be terrible. It could be something major like the first accident this car had, and then something kind of minor, or two minor things, or yeah.
Tell you what,
Yeah.
because it has such a history, right here, right now, I will offer you $8 cash in hand for this Fiesta ST. $8. That's
need
that
a
way. If you
little bit
round it
more.
up, it's basically $10.
All I gotta do is ask the comment section, can you match or beat his offer? And I'm sure someone will come through with,
Guys, don't take this car away from me.
Who's got some stimulus money left? I know you've got more than Andrew, all right? The Lemon Lincoln, it's crazy because I still get messages to this day about this car. This is a car that was bought for over $20,000 off sticker because it carried a branded manufacturer buyback title due to one wire. And the one wire was fixed, but not fixed well. Then it was fixed real tight. Do you remember any of that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're following along.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Since it was fixed real tight, car's seen over 10,000 miles, not a single issue. This is a great car, but I'm contemplating selling both of these cars, and I'm thinking the Range Rover might replace. That's a crazy idea, right?
Yeah, it really is.
Because this is the Lemon Lincoln, so it's really supposed to be unreliable.
Right.
Range Rovers are just naturally all lemons, right? Lemon Lincoln and Fiesta. Definitely Fiesta is going to be sold with the damage, major discount.
My offer of $8 still stands.
Yeah, that's great. Comment section, you can offer a little bit more than that. But this is the first car I ever rebuilt. This is the first salvage car I ever bought. This is the car that taught me everything I know about rebuilding and buying salvage cars. So it's kind of one of those tough ones, but it's got to go. There's just too many cars at this point. Well, we almost forgot one. I almost did forget about this, which I don't know why, because this is the favorite. You can take all the cars I've shown you today, but this one is not going anywhere. This is a 2015 Chevrolet Spark, and that's what I've been contractually obligated to call it as of now. But what I can tell you about this 2015 Chevrolet Spark is that it's quite a bit different from a lot of the other ones you might see. It's been outfitted with things such as a warming oven door, which you can put hot contents inside. What else does this have? A little light that shines a logo of a specific organization on it. And I modified it. It only came with one seat. It's got the two seats. This car still has under 3,000 miles on it. I keep it stashed away. I move it in and out of the barn once in a while. But this is one that I really want to keep pristine because I have to imagine out of all of these that exist, this is one of the best condition ones just based on the amount of usage and mileage. There's probably one out there, but I can assure you it didn't cost only $525. Another reason why I like this one so much. I have it, it's mine, and it's not going anywhere. Now guys, I hope you enjoyed this garage update video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button. Also, if you're not already following me on Instagram, you can go right here, click the link in the description box below where I upload photos of the cars you didn't see on the video today because, well, they'll be coming to the channel soon. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching, and I'll catch you very soon. Last year I sold 2 cars. One was the Honda Ridgeline truck, which I didn't have very long. The other one was the C6 Corvette, which I rebuilt. The last 2 weeks I've sold 6 cars. I've been buying so many cars at auction and keeping a lot of my old inventory, it's gotten overwhelming. So I'm actually liquidating a ton of my current inventory, and I'm replacing it with a lot of new stuff that I find interesting, stuff that I like, and stuff that I hope that you'll really like. But I want to go through the notable cars I sold in the past few weeks. First off, the E55 AMG. The cool thing about that car, the guy that bought it, he actually reached out to me after I launched the first video and told me he was bidding against me during the live auction, and he really wanted that specific car. When it came time to sell, reach out to him. I did, and he sealed the deal. The next one, the Audi RS7. That one, I can't say went to such a good home, but it was one of these cars, again, that I was really enthusiastic about when I bought it, and even after rebuilding it, I would drive it here and there, but very sparingly. I didn't use it enough to justify it, so when an acquaintance of mine lowballed me for it, I just kind of let him have it. You'll be seeing it on another YouTube channel very soon. Next up, the Porsche 911, a car that when I first rebuilt it, I didn't think much of. And then as I started using it, it was one of my most usable cars, which is crazy. For what is basically a 2-seater sports car, you wouldn't think it'd be that usable, but it was incredible, and it was incredibly reliable. In the few thousand miles I put on that car, I didn't have to fix a thing. So the cool thing with all these cars, including the last one, the GT350R, I happen to know everybody on a personal level that have bought them, so I can kind of check up on them from time to time. But the GT350R was probably my most expensive car. And anytime I have more than a few cars lying around, the most expensive one always gets used the least, just because it's always weighing on my mind. You've got this really, really nice car. Don't mess it up. That car is immaculate. It's mint. And Brian, I hope you really enjoy it.